Alright. A recent theme is pedal repairs. So this is a Kenmore pedal. I forget what machine it's off of. Is it the Model 6816 pedal? It's got that style plug on it. As you can see, I've already opened it up. I had to get it apart right away because you can see this big chip here. The whole side was smacked out and cracked out and broken all the way, including the pivot point here. So I have super glued this back in place, and then I'm going to reinforce that and cover this hole with something so it looks a little nicer. To remove the cover to the pedal, there are set screws in the front of it, because the pedal sits like this. So there's these set screws, and they hold the pivot pins for the pedal in place. And then the springs settle in like so. And then it pushes down on this roller and pulls the pedal in to these carbon piles, and you can see this double carbon pile. One of those piles is shorter than the other. So I'm going to have to disassemble this carbon pile, clean all the discs, check it for broken ones, and then I have a stash of discs, carbon pile discs, that I scavenged from another pedal. And I'm going to have to rebuild this carbon pile so that these are even stacks. And that will give this pedal much better control, because currently you can see the two contacts, and power comes up, and then you push the pedal down until this copper, this should be copper, anyhow, until this bar contacts both sides of the carbon pile on top there. Once it touches there, the motor will start as power flows up across here and then back through the other half of the pile. And then when you push further down, it presses the pile together, reducing resistance and speeding the motor up until you push it far enough, and it's supposed to have this button come out the bottom and short the two contacts here for full power. And I can see that this is not, it's barely making both contacts down there. So we'll have to do a little rebuild on these contacts on the bottom, and we'll have to disassemble this carbon pile to clean all the discs and reassemble it so that the piles are an even size. Alright, it is an early morning, so the sun is shining right into my garage across the table here from behind me. But this pedal, I'm gonna finish reinforcing this off screen. I talked about it quick with gluing it together for that pedal cover, but right now it's time to get this carbon pile out of the bottom of the pedal and try and inspect it and get it to even up, because it's got the uneven pile level in there, of course, and then so who knows what the discs are like inside. I think this is going to be an easy one. Just don't lose the washer in there, but this whole ceramic pile, yep, just lifts right out of there. And we'll unhook our wire leads. This is a really nicely made pedal. It's got soldered ring connectors on it. So those ring connectors are soldered solid, so they won't loosen up if you don't get them on there right. Let's see now. We'll leave that side. We'll leave. This is the pressor bar, and these buttons should be flared. I have these discs and parts I took out of a Singer pedal, and they've got that flare on the button because that Singer pedal had a cracked ceramic piece, or what pedal was it? One pedal or other had a cracked ceramic piece, so looks like there's a nut here holding this end on. That is the carbon pile out of that side, and these are very dusty carbon discs. And the inside of that is pretty full of carbon dust. So we'll finish. I'm going to pull this other side off, and then I'm going to wash this all with rubbing alcohol to wash the carbon dust away. And once I've washed everything off, I'll come back and reassemble this. Alright, I haven't washed this, but I figured out why the stacks were uneven. And you can tell, so this is the left side stack that was short, and you can see there's a lot of burning on this bottom contact, and the pull contact also has uneven burning on the left-hand side here because that stack was shorter, so whenever it contacted, it started on the one side and always was sparking on the left-hand side where it was shorter. I counted the discs. I haven't washed them yet, but I counted them, and the thin discs are even. There's 42 on the right and 43 on the left. But the right-hand side still has its fat bottom disc, and that's how it was tall compared to the short one. So I'm going to sort through the remains of this Singer pedal and see if I can find the short or the fat discs from it. Otherwise, I'll have to put 2 or 3 extra discs on the left-hand side to even them out. And I don't know if they forgot to put the fat disc in the bottom of that one, or if it just never had one, but yeah, so that is what I need to do next. But I thought it was interesting that the difference in height was just because of this one fat disc missing on the pedal. So I'll wash this and reassemble it, and then hopefully this pedal will work really nicely. Alright, I washed these all in alcohol and laid them out. This one is actually damaged, so I'm going to replace that because I've got spares from that other pedal. And when you wash the carbon discs for a refurb on a pedal, make sure you spread them out and dry them thoroughly individually. These that I recovered from that pedal that was damaged, I just sort of stacked them once I had them washed, and the ones that I stacked, they're all stuck together, so I'll have to put a dab of rubbing alcohol on them to get them to separate out again. But I'm going to replace that one, and then I need a couple more to even the stacks out, so I'm just going to set these out here. I don't know what the design was that I didn't get any thicker discs. I just got the big control buttons out of that controller. I do remember the reason I scrapped it out is because the insulated thing was all shattered, so it couldn't be repaired easily. Alright, the sun's moving, and these carbon discs have been laid out and dried. I'm actually going to switch the two sides for the piles when I build them, so I'm going to take all the pile that was on the right and I'm going to put it in the left hand side here. So first things first, the big button here needs to go in, and I'm going to set it in and shake it so that it comes out of the end of the holder here. And then once the button is in place, we'll stack the discs in there, and we'll make sure that they're dropping in and falling flat. So it's basically drop them in one at a time and shake a little bit, and then peer in there to make sure they got flat. So I'll be doing that until this is full, and then I'll get the other side put in, and then once I have both sides put in, I'll check to see if they're level or even. Alright, I assembled this pedal. I had 3 extra discs, got the things evened out, so you can see that the pedal contacts them more, the two sides evenly now. So it should work a lot better, and it won't be burning that one side. Okay, so simple reinforcement around the inside edge of this lid with just a piece of cardboard that's been super glued in there to harden it. This is the side that had cracked out, so that should hold that all in place. I stuck the tape in there just to hold the cardboard in place while I glued it. I'm just going to leave that in there because you're not going to see it from the outside. So we'll pop this top on here. And then the hard part is going to be getting these pins back in. But this is pretty well designed, so it's going to be a case of picking a side and just wiggling it around until the pin pops through, and then setting the pin in place and screwing in the set screws that came out of the bottom of the pedal. So there we go. That's that side, and then same on this side, just sort of There. Pressing it together a little bit gave me the wiggle to get that in there. Alright, now put our set screw in on this side of the pedal. There we go, and this side is in place so that this pedal is going to work again.